actually a connection between learning and earning. The more you learn, the more you should earn. This is the basic principle of life. Now, to also succeed in life, it takes one idea. One that particular idea can actually make you to be successful in life. Now, the hallmark of this lecture is for us to actually make our assets to outgrow our liabilities. Now, wealth is actually created when your asset is above your liability. That is, your investment is above your liabilities or your spending. Then that's when you can actually say that you are actually creating a wealth or you are actually wealthy. So, those that rules the world today are those that actually have the ideas on how to rule the world. And those that are wealthy today are those that can actually create a connection between learning and what and earning. So when you learn, you actually earn. The more you learn, the more money you make. And it is very imperative that you know that people that are actually very successful today, a lot of them actually read a lot of books. Now, they are not fictional books that they actually read, but they actually read books that can actually edify them for self development on how to actually develop themselves. Welcome to another segment of intellectual brainstorming and academic excellence. I remain your humble, dedicated, pragmatic, innovative, inventive David Oni. My YouTube channel, as you know, is David Oni Wiz. Now, let us start something new today, something dynamic, something pragmatic, something practical. And I'll be talking about job security. Job security. Don't forget that we are in a capitalistic system. And what do I mean by a capitalist system? We are talking about a free enterprise system. We are talking about an economic system where the means of production, distribution, and exchange are controlled by private individual, where government participation is at a minimum. In a capitalist system or economic system, profit is a guiding principle. Now, if you actually find yourself in this capitalistic system, there is a need for you to have what we call a job security. So, you need to have a job security. To have a job security, there is truly one way in which you can actually guarantee that. This is because of the economic system where we find ourselves, and because of the economic system we find ourselves, which pervades the whole, system or global economic system. You discover that whenever there is a slow economic downturn, or there is a curb in the way of the economic system during this period, a lot of people will actually lose their money. They actually lose their job. Now, the present economic system allows people to lose their job when there is a slow economic downturn because we're in a capitalist system. Now, in a capitalist system, a lot of people, whenever there's an economic slowdown, will lose their job or they will be laid off in their office because of this problem. Now, anybody could get laid off. You'll be asking yourself, of course, it's only the laborers or those that are at the high pedestal of organizational structures that can actually lose their job. Not only them, anybody can lose their job in an economic system that's characterized by a slow economic pace or economic recession or economic instability. So, a lot of people will always lose their job in this economic system, and there's no exemption to those that will lose their job. For example, doctors can lose their job, CEOs can lose their job, secretaries can lose their job, doctors can lose their job, lawyers can lose their job. The list are endless. Now, Even when you start a job in this economic system, there is every possibility, I'm not being, pessimistic, that that economic business that you actually establish, there's every tendency that that business may not survive. This is because it is not easy to start a business. So it's not easy to start a business, and if you have a business during this economic system or economic situation, there's every tendency your business may actually fail or go into bankruptcy at the end of the day. Now, it is very imperative that if you want to start a business, that you need to understand that if the kind of business that you are doing is not going to provide a solutions to a particular problem, then that business may not survive at the end of the day. So your business that you want to establish must be able to provide a solution to a problem in a particular society. So now, apart from the fact that you are able to provide a solution to the problem that is characterizing a particular area, then it means that you cannot start your business for a wrong reason. Now, at the end of it all, what we're saying in a nutshell is that you need to have what we call a job security. Now, how do you have a job security? To have a job security means that you need to stop relying on your job for security, because the economic system is pervaded by uncertainty. Anything can happen at any point in time. So, and when anything happens at any point in time, there is every tendency that you might actually lose the job. So this topic is talking about what can you actually do that even when the job is no longer there, you can still be able to sustain your family and you don't need to beg at the end of the day. So when people lose their job, they run out of money, at a particular period of time. So when there is unemployment in society, it spells what we call economic doom for such a society, because people will not be able to spend their money. People may have to exhaust their savings. People will become unemployed. Do you understand now? So that is the problem. And that's why, you need to have that job security that we're talking about. And that's why this topic we're talking about is going to guarantee you on how to have that job security at the end of the day. So it is very important that you watch this video from the beginning to the end. Now, if you never subscribe to our channel, I beg subscribe now. This is the time for you to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share the videos to people out there all over the world that can benefit from this video. Now, it's called that when there is job insecurity or when people lose their job, the tendency for them to spend their savings is always very high. And at the end of the day, what happens? It will create what we call economic uncertainty. So whenever you don't have a job or you don't have or you're unemployed, it is not advisable that you should still finance your needs through what we call credit cards and pay now, buy now and pay later, and other means of credit facilities. Now, how can you guarantee a job security irrespective of the capitalistic or free market economy system that we are practicing in Nigeria and some other parts of the world? Now, I'm going to put you through some of these things that you can actually do. That even though your job is not there now, you can actually have something that you can fall back on at the end of the day to avoid what economic calamity. Now, the first one which I'm going to talk about is what I call financial protection. Financial protection. Now, what do I mean by financial protection? You need to protect yourself financially. So, in other words, you need to have what we call savings in the bank at a particular period of time so that you can be able to protect yourself against what we call emergencies. Emergencies. Life happens and anything can happen at any point in time as a human being. So you need to have what we call savings. Apart from the fact that you are investing your money, you are spending your money, you also need to have what we call savings in your bank account. Your savings should be in your bank account. So your savings is for a period of emergency. That's what where you don't have anything to fall back on. But that money which you have actually saved in your bank account can actually sustain you in this particular period of time. So this will help you to avoid high interest rate, or if at all you have actually borrowed money, or to avoid what we call credit cards or credit cards debts. And it will also give you what protection at this particular period of time, so that you can have something to leverage on till you get another job. So you need financial protection. You need to be saving money for emergencies at the end of the day. Now, the amount of money you can actually save for what for emergency can vary depending on what on your financial capability, how strong you are what financially. So it is very imperative that you save your money. So when you save your money, what are the advantages that you're going to get from this? Number one, it will give you what I call breathing room. Breathing room. It means you don't have to be too reliant on what on your job. So when you have something that you're saving up there, at the end of the day, it means that you don't need to be too reliant and be too dependent on your job, which is not even what sure at the end of the day due to economic uncertainty. So this will also create opportunities for you to also be dynamic in the sense that while you are doing that job, you can still be able to look for another job because you have something at the back of your at the back end of your purse. So it is very important that you have what we call financial, protection. So financial protection will give you breathing room to save some money and also to not to be too dependent or reliant on your job, and also to create room for you to be dynamic and also look for a better job while you're still doing that particular job. Then number two advantage is that it will give you, company insurance in case the company runs to what we call a bankruptcy. Just like I said, the economic system of the world today is very, very what uncertain. Even companies today, they are experiencing what we call a bankruptcy. So for you to be able to have that financial security, then you need to have what we call the company insurance. Company insurance means that even if your company should run into bankruptcy, you still have something to depend on at the end of the day when the company is no longer there, or when the company has ceased to exist. So number one, it will give you a breathing room. Number two, if you give what we call a company insurance, in case your company should run into bankruptcy and your company fail to exist any longer. But since you have saved money somewhere there, you can be able to survive at the end of the day. Number three advantage, or number C, is that it will give you what we call insurance as well. So when you save money, when you have financial protection, it will give you what we call insurance in case something happens to you and you're unable to work. Life happens. Life happens. Anything can happen at any point in time. We've seen situations whereby somebody will just be going to work and he will have an accident, he will break his leg, and because of that, he might not be able to do ordinarily what he has been doing before. At that period of time, he might need to be nursing his wound till what is going to recuperate. But when you have something in savings as a financial protection, even when these things happens, you can still be able to survive at the end of the day. So to give you the opportunity to fall back on something which is your saving, till you get back to your feet when you have what emergency happening to you at that particular period of time. So you can also do what I call a life insurance. Life insurance is very, very good. Very, very, very good. Sometimes life happens. Let's imagine somebody that is a breadwinner in a family and something happens to that person, that the person actually what? Actually dies. Then how is the family going to survive? But when you have financial insurance, there's every possibility that your family is going to survive even when you are not there, even when you are the breadwinner and you are not there at the end of the day to sustain your family or to protect your family. So having financial protection is very, very important to guarantee your job security. Job security. We're talking about when the job is no longer there, what can you fall back on? So number one, you need to have what we call financial protection. And when you have financial protection, it will give you what I call breathing room. Then it will also give you what we call company insurance, and it will also give you what we call insurance as well. And in case anything happens that you are no longer there, your family can be able to fall back on your insurance and survive on the money you have actually saved for them. because anything can happen at any point in the time. The second one is that when you have job security, you'll be able to sharpen your what? Your skill set. Your skill set. Let me call it the skill set. You know what do I mean by skilled? You know, we have in economics, I could remember in those days they talked about what we call skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, and unskilled labor. Now, skill set is very important in what an economic system to grant what we call the job security. So you need to grant it that security, and one of the ways through which you can actually guarantee just job security is for you to sharpen your skills. And what do I mean by sharpening your skills? It means well, we have to invest into things that can actually develop you. So it entails that if anything happens to you and the job is no longer there, the possibility of you bouncing back is what is always very, very high when you have what you have actually sharpened your skill. So it involves what creating a position for yourself when the job is no longer there, or when the job you have actually lost that job, but something is what is a plan B there for you that you can also fall back on and can also create what we call income for you. So it's a great position for you when the job is no longer what actually there. So then says was selling your skilled service to people to generate income for yourself when your primary job is no longer there. So that's what we're talking about when you talk about what we call a skilled skilled set. So it entails what learning something new, learning something different, learning something outside your primary job responsibility. So that in case that job is no longer there, you have something that will still be what generating what income for you or generating money for you till you bounce back to what your normal level. So it increases what we call creating value for people willing to pay for your services. You understand now? So it entails what creating a value for people that are willing to pay for your services. You understand now? And how do you do this? It entails what taking what we call classes, obtaining a certificate, listening to podcasts, and so many other things. So as a result of it, you don't need to struggle before you can actually eat and actually what feed your family. So this is very imperative that in this economic system where job security is not what is no longer guaranteed, you can have something for yourself and actually survive on something at the end of the day without what? Without necessarily begging for money or necessarily was struggling to feed your family and take care of yourself. So the purpose of this topic is that when the job is no longer there, what can you fall back on at the end of the day? You need to create a passive income. You need to create something different from your job that you have been doing. That if that uncertainty happen in that job and you happen to lose that job, you have something that can sustain you. So number one is that you need to create what we call financial protection. You need to save money for those days that anything can actually happen, like emergencies. You understand now? So you need to save money for those emergencies. I believe you have actually gained something from this. You understand? That you need what we call financial protection, and you also need to sharpen your skills by investing in your personal development. That if that job is no longer there, you can still create money for yourself. You can still create income for yourself at the end of the day. On this note, I'm going to stop on this topic on job security. I remain Davido, and my YouTube channel is what is Davido meaning Wiz. If you never subscribe to our channel, please go and subscribe now. To our returning subscribers, say a very big thank you to you. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe now. And don't forget to leave your comment on how to serve you better in this our lectures. Thank you so much, and God bless you.